In OZWED's home, the door is 7 feet tall. As she took few steps away from the door, she noticed that the angle of elevation to the top of the door is 64 degrees. Question: how far is she from the door? In our problem, the given is the angle of elevation, which is 64 degrees, and the height of the opposite, which is 7 feet. And now, we are looking for the distance. The trigonometric ratio that we will use is the tangent. Tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Since we have identified the information needed, we may now begin to solve. The equation that we have to use is tan 64 degrees is equal to 7 over x. Next, we will multiply x both sides. We now have x tan 64 degrees is equal to 7. Then, divide both sides by tan 64 degrees. The equation will now be x is equal to 7 over tan 64 degrees. Then, 7 divided by tan 64 degrees is equal to 3.41412812. When rounded off, the value of x is 3.41. In conclusion, the distance between OZWED and the door is 3.41 feet.
Sam and CJ just finished doing their homeworks. However, crumpled papers are left all over their area and they have to take away all of their clutter.
I have an idea. We should play the paper toss game as we clean all the mess.
Sure, that would be fun, Sam. Whoever gets the most points wins.
What are you waiting for? Let's start!
After several tries, CJ was still having a hard time to score. Meanwhile, Sam already gotten the trick.
If Sam was throwing the crumpled papers horizontally from the height of 3 meters with a horizontal speed of 2 meters per second, how long does the paper ball stay in the air? Find the distance of the trash bin from his standpoint. With what velocity will it enter the trash bin?
The formula that we have to use is t is equals to the square root of 2y divided by g. In our problem, the given height is 3 meters. Meanwhile, the g stands for the acceleration due to the gravity of the Earth, which has a constant value of 9.8 meters per second squared. Now we will substitute. T is equal to the square root of 2 times 3 meters divided by 9.8 meters per second squared. 2 times 3 meters is 6 meters. Then divided by 9.8, the answer will be 0.612244898.
Then its square root is 0.78 when rounded off. So a crumpled paper stayed in the air for 0.78 seconds.
In finding the distance, we simply multiply the horizontal speed and the time.
The horizontal speed is 2 meters per second and the time is 0.78 seconds. Distance is equal to 2 meters per second times 0.78 seconds. When multiplied, the answer will be 1.56 meters. That means that the distance between Sam and the trash bin is 1.56 meters.
To solve for the final velocity, we will find the square root of vertical velocity squared plus horizontal velocity squared. In the problem, the horizontal velocity is 2 meters per second, while the vertical velocity is unknown. To find the vertical velocity, multiply the acceleration due to the gravity of the Earth to the time.
Horizontal velocity is equal to 9.8 times 0.78. The answer will be 7.644 or 7.64 meters per second.
Since we now have the value of the vertical velocity, we will substitute this value on our formula.
The square of 7.64 meters per second is 58.3696 meters per second, and the square of 2 meters per second is 4 meters per second. Add this together and we will get 62.3696 meters per second, and its square root is 7.89644264 or 7.90. The final velocity is 7.90 meters per second.